For the first time, we will introduce the possibility of a full third country ban for crypto asset services. It will act as a strong deterrent for the countries hosting platforms that help Russia evade our sanctions.
Once again, you are welcome. Today we are looking at why is the market really falling. What is the shocking news? Who is doing those things? What is making all these things happen? And I'll bring to you some basic and then some hidden news that you should to know. This European Union is trying to tell us that there will be a massive ban, or they're trying to control cryptocurrency here. That is about posted by what Jack the Rippler. All right. So I want us to fast forward look into the market. You can see some projection of it. What I've done here. These projections really tells us a lot of things here. I've written in the comments or what is really here about what is happening, what is really happening now in 1 month zone. Actually, it is in a week zone. So if you look at the week current calendar, as we look at it here, Bitcoin has fallen significantly, very low. Even as at now, what we see here that we call about Bitcoin has really fallen. Indeed, and then indeed, we are experiencing a massive pull and then another danger of it here. So keep on, let's really dive deep and see what is currently happening to the market here. If you are new to our channel, on the like click on the like button, subscribe to our channel, and then follow us so that all the time when we post news like this, you'll be the first to know. Quickly, let's run it up. This is the news I brought to you first of all. Understand that indeed this news is talking about here. Interestingly, the altcoin market cap is still holding above its major support zone. This support zone as we talk about since 2020, and it's still keeping price from going lower. That is what it's saying here. Not saying the support will hold forever, yeah, though, but sustainably, altcoin projects are at an interesting buying level. Do keep in mind at this. Do keep in mind that this is not 2020. You can't just pour money everywhere and hope your backs pump. It takes skills, due diligence, and market knowledge to handle picks the pockets that is worthy. Look at the chart here. This chart really tells us about the Bitcoin or the altcoins all in all graph here. Really, if you see what is really currently happening, you can really understand that altcoin assets now is really experiencing something that is called either a market pull up, or some people may call it hammers, or right now it some people also can call it that both the buyers and the sellers are really fighting the market because of because of this particular thing that we are seeing here. This particular thing here, meaning it went up to a bullish trend, now created a wick, and then meaning the sellers took it back. Now it has taken it back. Looking at the body of the candlestick together, it is really projecting something very important here that we need to take very close attention. Altcoin daily. This news is very important. This news, as we talk about here, it says that this news as altcoin talk about, he said, listen, I am being long-term bullish in the next guys, but let me share this with you, this information. So what are the information he's talking about? He's saying what he's saying that Bitcoin can absolutely fall lower. That's what he's saying here. The macro handworks are there, yes. The headwinds are there though. Here is how it could be this year. That's what it's prediction. All right. So in this prediction, the first one, as we look at it here, is what I'm circling here for you to get it. June. In June, In June. That is in June here. All right. Mega IPO AI search sucks up capital. All right. So I'll be bringing to you in the next news what is really talking about here. Why this AI is really sucking the capital here as we talk about. In July, as it talks about here, in July, stocks crash and bear begins. That is in July. In August 10th, in August, so in August, we look at 10-year treasury bills hit 6%. All right. In September, Fed hikes rates. In October, per is clarity and per what is going on. Clarity ad phase to pass. All these news I'm bringing to you one by one. So let's really hit on and let's listen to the news that follows again here. The chart here, as we talk about, this chart here really shows two different graphs altogether. One, as we talk about here, shows that BTC even has its down sections here. If you look at it, BTC shows a sign before it went down. That is what he's talking about here. And then again, after the down, that massive down, BTC has not really risen. That higher high, this is a lower high. So after that lower high has not been broken. If you look at the trend, same thing as here. This really happens even in the market, as in this happens in June there. So looking at what is currently happening, there is another prediction that indeed BTC will have another spike, falling or rising up again. Then after that, we'll see. You're correct. The February low gets taken out in June. Again, same in both bear markets. If BTC declines to decides to continue that relationship, we should continue falling until Q4. So per the analysis here, if BTC continues this thing as we talk about here, then indeed we are continuing until the QR4. The meaning, what is the QR4 is the fourth quarter, meaning we are supposed to be experiencing more dump coming up here per this analysis. Understand, I talked to you about AI per the prediction of what coin of altcoin daily talks about something that is called what here. If you look at it here, it is coming very soon that AI, these major AI investors will be sucking up the market very, very soon in June, July there. So in June, this is what is coming here. So about 1.8 trillion of what space is trying to suck the markets then. And then I got and understand again that OpenAI too is trying to bring about $500 billion into the market. That's what in H2 in 2026. H2 2026 to half of the season, half of the year too. In the beginning, it's something like over 300 billion of this until and this another AI thing is also trying to suck the market. So within the four cycles is intact. Fast forward into things here. As all of us know that the Clarity Act is really, really something that is to talk about here. That all the time you talk about it, that when the Clarity Act passes, it will make crypto easy to make people more to intrude and more investors jump into it. But this news talks about it here that Senator Angela also talks about it here that it will make crypto the Clarity Act will be very, very difficult for its implementation. Let's listen to it.
I think a lot of Democrats have very legitimate concerns around the ethics that have to be addressed. I mean, we have a president who is, along with his family, I mean, everything from how he's engaged in hotels and golf courses, buying planes from foreign leaders. I mean, you name it. I mean, this is an administration that people have grave concerns about in the area of corruption. They've seen the grift, and they want to make sure that as we regulate it, we are absolutely attending to the concerns around ethics, illicit finance.
So, what he's saying, indeed, saying that what says many Democrats have legitimately concerned about ethics and illicit finance as Congress debate the crypto market structure bill. So per his analysis, it's not going to be on a silver platter just like that. It's going to be boot for boot for the crypto acts to really to be implemented. Lastly, on the note, Tom Lee really predicts something very, very important here. He says that Tom Lee warns us about the bigger correction ahead. What is it correction ahead here? He's talking about the markets has had a parabolic lift in the last month, and now there is some sort sobering taking place. People are raising cash. I don't think that is the start of a broadcast correction yet. That is what Tom Lee is saying. Let's listen to this analysis. Very, very important for me.
I think the market did have a parabolic lift in the last month. And now I think there's some sobering taking place because expectations are higher. But I also think that SpaceX, $75 billion is a lot to ask the public to fund. So I think it is a big lift in terms of how you're going to fund that purchase. And so I think now when the stock's wobbled a little bit, I think people are raising cash. I don't think that this is the start of a broader correction yet. But as you know, we do think that later this year, there's going to be something that feels like a bear market.
A bear market. He's talking about SpaceX, 7 point something billion I talked to you about. This is a fund that he pays. Analysis is thinking that people are raising cash to be able to do what is really, or to be able to hold up what is coming. All right. So as he's saying, there will be going to be a lot of bear markets though, but still the markets, what? Yes, and still the market is still trying to struggle and make it up to that Bitcoin is doing right now as I talked to you about. So Bitcoin, first of all, really was having a momentum of its higher. Looking at the way back from 2024, as you can see here, to 2000 and to 2025 to 2026 middle the July, Bitcoin really experiences a major or a bullish thing here as we talk about here. So this bullish thing that we talk about here is what Bitcoin really experienced. So Bitcoin really experienced this thing as we talk about here. So if you look at it clearly, the three market points I've drawn or shown in in that support zone area, the resistance, it is telling you the GS I'm talking about, which Bitcoin really massively improved. After it, the highest ever momentum we ever got is when Bitcoin got to about 120k. After that, then it declined from from the middle the July to April, May, June, July, April, July, August, September there. Then it started dropping 2026 up to now July. Bitcoin is still falling at the top. Thank you for watching this Crypto Lord Nathan. We'll bring you latest updates concerning crypto related to finance and other things. If you love what we do, smash on the subscribe button for us. See you. Bye for now.